Silicon Valley Brahma Kumaris new parenting series for this month. We are starting, and it's based on raising emotionally healthy kids. I am Meghna, the facilitator of this course. I'll start off with a brief introduction of myself for the folks who are joining us for the first time, and also give you a brief introduction of Brahma Kumaris, the non-profit spiritual organization. I've been on a fantastic spiritual journey for last 7 years with Brahma Kumaris, and it has very deeply changed my life in a very positive manner. It has helped me become a better person, enabled me to fall in love with myself. Pure love, not a comparison based love where I feel good when I compare myself with others or based on physical beauty, but really completely understanding myself and then falling in love with my pure self. And when you are in love, not in the egoistic love, but genuine, pure love, which cares, which wants to make the self stronger, everything in life becomes beautiful. This knowledge has helped me become a better parent. I'm a mother of two kids. One is a teenager, and the other one is an adult kid. And it's this last few years has been fantastic journey with my kids, really using this knowledge, which is very, very practical, helping them become very, very strong as well. When a parent is emotionally strong, stable, very peaceful and loving, you actually don't have to do much work. Kids automatically learn. To me, this quote has always been very attractive, that actions speak louder than words. But I could practically see it in my life when, through this knowledge and meditation taught at Brahmakumaris, my actions changed, my sense of being changed. I could see that the kids could copy what I was doing practically without me having to use any words. How powerful is that teaching? Where you don't have to nag them, where you don't have to repeat what you're saying, but your own personality, your own way of living inspires them to live like you. And it has not only helped me at home. I'm a working mom. Even at work, especially during pandemic, there has been a lot of challenges at work. The velocity, intensity at work has really quadrupled. And this knowledge and meditation again came as a savior to me. I was able to maintain my calmness, my peace, even being extremely busy. So, lot of beautiful learnings, and I'm happy. I'm really fortunate for being to able to share it with all of you, my fellow parents, and maybe some of you are working as well. So, with that, I would like to get started. At Brahmakumaris, every course, as you already might know now, is offered for free. The whole intention of this organization is, the motto is that self transformation leads to world transformation. When every individual is at a better place, in their inner state, then the world will be in a better place. That is the sole motto. And with that motto in mind, this organization has selflessly been serving every individual. So I hope you find it very informative and educative as we go through this class today. Just as the format of this particular class, for folks who are joining us for the first time, it might be a repetition for others. We will start off with a few minutes of meditation. It's a Raj Yoga meditation where we consciously create elevated thoughts. So I will speak out the thoughts out loud, and I request you all to see if you can sit in a lab, a spiritual lab, where every thought that I'm sending is being embraced by you without any questions or doubts, right? Because you're in a lab, you're experimenting with something new. These thoughts are very, very unique, mind blowingly positive, and will touch many chords of your heart. People who generally practice this meditation experience a wide variety and range of emotions. You could experience peace, love, or joy. So, when we are embracing the thoughts, our hearts start participating. Every thought actually leads to a feeling. When you are thinking lovingly about somebody, you experience love in your heart. When you're feeling appreciative of someone, you feel regard in your heart. So these thoughts, their intent is to generate beautiful emotions and feelings within you. So in meditation, when we experience beautiful emotions, it's not at all a boring exercise. It's not a robotic exercise where we are trying to battle with our mind, but it's really when the heart and mind start participating and support each other. Meditation is the most beautiful and powerful experience. So we'll start with meditation. We will also end it with meditation, and we will have a Q&A session for 5 to 10 minutes in the end. So please hold on to your questions, and in the end you will get a chance to either unmute and ask your question or post it on the Q&A or chat box. With that, I would like to get started with today's new series on raising emotionally healthy kids. So let's first get started with a short meditation. Let's sit comfortably and relax the body. And let's take few deep breaths. With every breath in, let's move inwards. And with every breath out, let go of all the burdens from your mind. Let's take a journey within to be with the most beautiful being, I, the soul. It's an irony that I'm a stranger to my own self. So let me start a deep friendship with the self by a simple greeting. How are you? Are you feeling all right? The inner being will respond through our mind, and the response might be chaotic, unclear, scattered all over the place. The relationship with the self might seem awkward, just like when we start talking to a stranger. But once you come to know that this stranger within actually has the potential to be the most beautiful, loving, empowering being, then you won't be able to stop yourself from being in your own company. So the tiny point of light, is a pure, peaceful, loving, and a joyful being. I am separate from the costume, the body that I am wearing. Very different from the body. My body that is made out of mud is perishable, constantly changes, falls sick, experiences discomfort and pain, gets tired. But the real I, is a subtle energy that cannot be seen with the physical eyes. I am eternal and imperishable. I am beyond any physical harm. I am tireless, always energetic and enthusiastic. It is the soul's power that allows a sick mother to jump out of her bed and save the child that might be in danger. So even if the body of the mother is sick, the soul is not sick. It is powerful. It is full of love. I am not a being of this physical world. I come from the land of light and peace, Nirvana, Paramdham. My home is beyond the sky, the physical world. Every birth, I've had new parents. The body's parents change, but I, the soul, eternally belongs to God, my spiritual father and mother. I, the child, is an exact replica of my eternal parent, the ocean of peace, the ocean of love, the ocean of joy, God. My home is in a constant state of purity. It has abundant, unlimited peace. So through my mind, I can leave the physical world where I am just a guest and go back to my home and experience unlimitedness, consistency, abundance. Everything in this physical world is limited, constantly changes. It tires me, but I have an option to be in my home, remain rested, and then come back to the world stage where I enact my role as a parent, as an employee, as a friend. After a lot of work, we look forward to going back home. The real home of I, the soul, is nirvana, a place filled with golden red light, where God Himself, my eternal parent, resides. I'm the luckiest being, the most elevated creation of God. Thank you, ocean of love, God, for showering your love upon me and showing me my higher potential. Welcome, everyone, once again to Raising Emotionally Healthy Kids. Before we get started, one more important thing to think about is it's just a question. In this session, I think it'll be very useful as you start self-reflecting while we are going through the session. Keep asking and checking, how is your state of being? How is your relationship with the child as we go through the material? And after the class, that day, that same day, find the time to reflect upon it. Otherwise, whatever we are talking evaporates from the mind very, very quickly. But if you take out few minutes to reflect upon our discussion, you will find that the teachings and the learnings are imbibed in your practical life very easily. That's been my experience. So, we have to ask ourselves, how much importance do we give to emotional health? What part of our day is going in ensuring that my emotional health as a parent is staying well? And also, how much am I trying to help my child be emotionally healthy? So, this is a question to ask yourself: do you make a daily effort, a weekly effort, monthly effort, or maybe an effort only during vacation? Or maybe there is no awareness at all. We need to be, the first step in spirituality is to realize, to be aware. Nothing is actually a bad state. Suppose you are in a state where you've not even ever thought about being emotionally healthy yourself or for your kids. It's completely fine. Acknowledgement that this is where I am, and then the realization that, man, this is something that is the uttermost important. Most important. Imagine, your child being academically super bright and talented, is doing fantastic, but has a lot of emotional issues of instability, insecurity, constant fear, pressure, or stress. How would life be for your child? Would the child be able to enjoy the academic success, or success in sports, or success in financial wealth? Can they even enjoy their relationships if they are emotionally unstable? Can suddenly get mad, can suddenly go into depression. Imagine the quality of their life. Till as parents we don't realize how critical is emotional health. For me, at least being with Brahma Kumaris and doing a lot of self reflection in the last 7 years, having less money is okay. Being academically not that bright, I feel, is okay, as long as your child knows how to remain stable and calm, as long as your child knows how to help others, interact with others well, connect with others easily, remain patient and calm, your child is one lucky star. We need to check what is the most important thing in life. In fact, as we go through this, you will understand without emotional health, actually, nothing will last. Whether it is financial success, your physical health, relationships, or your future career growth, nothing will last if you're emotionally unhealthy. So, this is as critical this subject is. So, it's important to ask, how much time do I give? What kind of effort am I putting in myself and in others? At young age, especially, lot of the learning of the child is just from their parents. They are observing and catching. If the parent is unstable, they will unfortunately, it it's still possible for them to be stable because there are a lot of factors in determining the emotions, but likelihood of them also being unstable increases. So we have a lot of responsibility on our shoulders. So there are some illusions. So let's first clarify that emotionally healthy, there are certain illusions or myths. And these myths, if we believe that this is what it means to be emotionally healthy, then we might be putting our efforts in the wrong direction and actually causing more damage than being of any help. So many people think, where you are not showing too many emotions, where you're just literally not expressing anything at all, just like a robot going on doing things, not expressing happiness or not expressing sadness or not being anything at all. There is nothing. It's literally lack of any expression. That is really not a healthy state of being. There is a huge difference between human being and a robot. And that difference we all know is robots have no feelings, although science is trying to progress and make them also have some emotions. But we are the ones who express ourselves through our emotions. Our language changes based on the inner feelings, right? So our feelings are our strength. So, indeed, being robotic does not mean emotionally healthy. Many people also think that, oh, obviously, being emotionally healthy, obviously, you are going to experience a variety of emotions. You'll be super mad, then you'll be super sad, then you could be super fearful, you could be super joyful, blah, 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 constantly swaying between a variety of emotions. And that too, what we see in today's world is very quick change. Right now, they are in the seventh heaven, jumping out of joy. Next moment, you look at them, they are on the ground, laying flat, crying, depressed. This is not a emotionally healthy state. Many people say, yeah, it is, after all, you are a human. Humans experience these kind of emotions, very normal. It is actually not a normal state. Something has gone wrong. Something inside is not working that is causing us to sway. The immunity is really down, and that's why you seem to fall sick suddenly, very quickly. Rapidly, your emotions are changing. So, this is not a healthy state of emotional health either. And some people also think suppressing your emotions or over expressing them, being vulnerable, is also a very healthy emotional state. When we become very dependent on others, I am going through so much, I am so sad, my life is a hell, you don't know what all is going on at work, with my partner, with my kids, with my in-laws. If you have the habit of over expressing to hundreds of people in your connections, to your parents, to your siblings, to your friends, then this is a clear indication that you are not able to cope up with life. Your emotions are getting completely worked up. And it's a very false belief that sharing with others how painful and miserable your life causes that pain to go away. It actually doesn't. Because when you share with others, 100 others will certify, oh my gosh, you poor Meghna, your life is really miserable, poor you shouldn't have to go through so much suffering. And what do I then feel? A victim. Oh my gosh, so true. Even my friends agree, my family agrees, my partner is not good, or my in-laws are not good, my life is not good. Now I am even more aggravated inside. And next time, even when a small problem comes, I feel even more pain. Now I need more people to share my pain with. And suppressing, you are feeling a lot of anger for someone, but you keep suppressing it and you keep acting as if everything is normal. That is also not good. Doesn't mean you start yelling because you're experiencing anger. Don't suppress, so just express it. No, but I need to sit with myself and understand, when your body is sick, you try to figure out, right, what is going on based on the symptoms. And if you can't figure out, you go take your body to a doctor, and the doctor tells you what is going on. So when I, the real being, is feeling sick, really mad, it's not a normal state, right? Our normal state is peace, love, and joy. Normal state will allow you to sleep. When you are angry, can you fall asleep? Do you ever invite anger in vacation, saying, oh man, this vacation has become so boring, I am not even enjoying it, it feels so uncomfortable because I haven't gotten mad? No, you would say, what, are you crazy? So we want peace, love, and joy, and when we are not expressing it, instead we are experiencing anger, then I need to check, why am I experiencing? I don't need to suppress it. I don't need to express that sickness to others, but I need to check, be my own doctor. This is what is spirituality. This is what is meditation. Checking how are you feeling, taking care of your emotions. So suppressing, over expressing is not emotionally healthy state. We will certainly go through this entire series to better understand what does it mean to be emotionally healthy. So if you are seeing your child to become very robotic, is in and out, only doing work, 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 some high schoolers become like that. They're not able to express and enjoy life at all. It's a bad signal. Or they are going through a variety of emotions very quickly. It is a bad signal. If they are not, constantly they are feeling some emotions, they are suppressing it, it is a bad signal. Till we don't understand what is good and bad, we really cannot help others. And damages of being emotionally distressed. This is when we understand what it means to be emotionally unhealthy, what all can go wrong. When we understand that in full depth, that is when we can take care and be inspired and motivated to become emotionally healthy. So, a person who is emotionally unhealthy will start experiencing lot of issues in the body. Psychosomatic diseases. Psycho is the mind and somatic, soma is the body. So the impact of the mind on the body, it's huge. Whenever our mind is creating negative emotions, lot of negative thoughts, highly depressing thoughts, then the brain starts releasing lot of damaging hormones. Those hormones go and touch variety of different organs, internal organs. Some of them can lead to all kinds of heart diseases, some can damage the liver. And you can study this up, which kind of emotions damage which part of the body. It's such an interesting study. There's a lot of research. Search up on the internet for psychosomatic diseases. So you might be feeding your child all kinds of organic, healthy food. But if they are emotionally unhealthy, then their body is actually getting damaged day by day, second by second. Obviously, a person who is unstable will not have good interactions with others. So the relationships will suffer. Imagine, would you want to be associated with someone who is unpredictable emotionally? Or maybe most of the times they're predictable, but they have this habit of very high temper. You don't know when that temper, it's rare, but it can go off. Would you want to hang out with such a person? You would, maybe because of whatever reason, you might maintain some interaction because of, either they're your, some close relative that you can't avoid, but they would not be your best buddy. So just think, emotionally healthy means they will have lot more friends, lot more connections. A person obviously who doesn't have too many friends will feel lonely. And sometimes it could be that maybe they're not going through a variety of emotions, but their personality is such that they always are looking at the negative side of things. They always are either sad, always worried, or anxious. That's not a healthy state. Who would like to hang out with such a person who's always having a negative perspective of everything? Nobody wants to hang with a person who's depressing, demotivating. So, such an individual will end up being lonely. And this could eventually lead to depression. In America, 1 in 4 of a family are experiencing depression. It's on a very high rise, and I won't be surprised that during pandemic the numbers have actually gone up even more. It's a very terrible disease where you don't feel like doing anything. Everything seems like a burden. You don't feel like talking, you don't feel like doing anything, you don't feel like eating. Every second seems like a burden. It's a sign of being depressed. And a person who is emotionally unstable will find it very hard to focus. They will constantly be swaying between so many different things. Right now, I want to do this, and later, I want to do something else. They are constantly disorganized. There are many, many damages. Such a person who's going through a roller coaster ride of emotions, can they ever make any decisions? No, they will be very confused. They won't know what to do, what is right, what is wrong. Should they do this or should they do that? That will eventually lead to lot of low confidence, because you on your own cannot decide anything, and life is nothing but bunch of choices, right? Every moment we are making a decision. And a person who's always worried, who's always feeling sadness or fear, can they make good decisions? A child who's always feeling the pressure of college or some test or something, can they make good judgments? Will they have clarity in life, or will they become dependent on others? And there are many people who are either going through depression or have lot of anxiety, or they have lot of temper issues. They generally get into the habit of substance abuse. They will have addictions. They will either have to use sleeping pills to fall asleep. As I just mentioned before, when we want to fall asleep, and if our state of mind is very, very chaotic, that is, our emotional state is disturbed, we cannot fall asleep. We would have to wait for the body to be so tired, so extremely exhausted, that even though these emotions are still disturbed, maybe we will fall asleep. Some people, even at that state, when the body is just falling apart, still they can't fall asleep. So then they have to use some pills. In general, today's world, life is a lot more difficult than it ever has been. Changes are happening very rapidly. If you think about your grandma's or great grandma's time, so many changes did not happen. Okay, we didn't have the luxuries that we have in today's world. Science was not advanced. But things didn't change this rapidly. People didn't need so much money. They were happy with the bare minimum. In today's world, constantly things are changing. People's emotions are changing. Nobody is a real friend these days. In such a world, if your child is not emotionally stable, will they be able to handle life? We need a lot of inner strength, courage, ability to remain emotionally stable even though life is constantly taking us on a roller coaster ride. Or do we want our kids to feel, oh my gosh, one more day tomorrow? How do I go through that day? I just barely survived today's. How do we want our kid to feel? And indeed, eventually, such kids, they feel so demotivated that life is just too much. I try so hard, I'm doing everything, yet nothing goes the way I planned. It's just too many surprises, too many changes. I can't handle it. I give up. I don't want to do anything. I will just survive with bare minimum. I don't need anything. There are many actually who are already dropping out of colleges. There are many such examples. So, the whole idea of this particular slide is to showcase the importance of being emotionally healthy. It is a very critical factor. And how much time do we spend on it? In fact, we put so much pressure. Maybe not all the parents, but many parents do so much academic pressure to be well versed in everything, be an all rounder, be very social, be this, be that, oh, be physically fit. Everything we put so much pressure that the kids get fed up. They are frustrated. Their emotions are going on a roller coaster ride because of our nagging on taking care of everything but the emotional health. We don't realize when we are pushing them too hard, unknowingly, we might be damaging their emotional health. So, till we realize the importance of emotional health, forget about giving time to emotional health, we might be actually damaging it. So, first thing is to realize how critical it is and then check, am I doing something to cause the health of my child's emotions to damage? Am I unnecessarily putting too much pressure? Am I creating such situation where the child is constantly experiencing pressure, stress, anxiety? Or am I creating such an atmosphere in the house where the child experiences peace, experiences security of love? What am I doing as a parent? Now, this is a first class, so we are kind of introducing many different concepts here, and I'm sure many of you are already familiar with some of this, but we will build upon this content in the upcoming 4 classes. So, very important to understand who is causing the emotions to be created. Generally, when we are blaming others, oh yeah, my body is so sick, that's why I'm being very impatient today. My uh, toe is hurting a lot, that's why I'm very irritable today. Or my I'm having a headache, that's why I'm feeling very sad and I'm crying for no reason. So, making excuses that because of the body health, the emotions are like this. Or, generally very kind I am. I'm a very, very kind being. But this situation was like this, Suddenly something happened. I had this great project and suddenly somebody else, it was given to somebody else. The whole credit was given to somebody else. That is why I got so irritated at work and I came and yelled at my family. Generally, I'm very kind. It's because of the situation in the office that I got mad. I am not the one who creates madness. People at work cause me to get mad. Or blaming. I am such a patient being, but my kids, they push my buttons. They cause me to get angry. Ask anybody, my friends, family, they'll all tell I'm the most kindest and the sweetest being. But my kids or my in laws, because of them, I've become such an angry person. So, till my belief is that others are causing me to create negative emotions, we are going to focus a lot on building emotional health of the parent, because automatically when you stay healthy, when you realize what it means to be emotionally healthy, then automatically you will be educating through your own life your kids. So none of these are to be blamed. I am the one that is creating. For me, in this last few years, it's been such a fantastic journey. I had low tolerance to body issues, and I would start complaining, become irritable, or become impatient. start offloading a lot of duties. Now I consider myself to be separate. I, the point of light. I'm observing the body go through changes. It will go through change. There is not a single body in this world that has not fallen sick, that has not gone through pain or discomfort. Who am I? Yes, my body is going through it too. It can go through whatever it wants. I choose to remain calm, detached. And yes, my body is very important. If it continues to stay sick, I will show it to the doctor, but I will not fall sick. The body is sick. I am peaceful. When I say I am angry because the body is sick, means body sickness caused me to become sick. I am healthy when I am peaceful, and I am unhealthy when I am impatient, irritable. So the blame game, the moment you finish the blame game, no, I am responsible, power comes back. And when we point fingers, power is gone. I don't have the power to change. I'm helpless. I'm a victim. Obviously, I will be angry because others are causing me to. Where is that power? It's gone. I feel like a victim. Someone is causing me to become angry. No, I have a choice. So, the creator of the emotions is the soul, a beautiful being of light that sits in the middle of the forehead between the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. So, when we realize that our and start taking responsibility of the emotions we are creating, lot of things will start changing. And we, the souls, we create our emotions through our thoughts. So if my thoughts are, oh my gosh, how many times have I told them? Don't they get it? How can anybody be so foolish? If I'm creating these kind of thoughts which have the sense of irritation in them, automatically, how will my emotions be? Irritation. That's what I'm going to feel. So I, the soul, creates the emotions through my thoughts. When I take the responsibility, then everything starts changing. If somebody else is responsible, then can you be emotionally healthy? I don't know. It depends upon my in-laws. It depends upon my kids. It depends upon my body. It depends upon how life will show its game to me. That means your chance of being emotionally healthy is, I don't know. It all depends. But when I say no, nobody is responsible. I am responsible for my emotional health. I can take care. It's the truth. The sooner we realize, the faster will we become healthy. And before we can really, how do we become healthy? We are so habituated to act like a victim. Oh, this happened, so that's why I got irritated. Oh, I'm going through this periodic monthly cycle. Yeah, that's why I'm depressed, or that's why I'm irritable. We blame it on so many different things. The moment I take responsibility and I understand who I am, what was my journey in this world drama, everything starts changing. So I would just cover one more slide and then we will open it up for Q&A. There's a little bit more content, but we will cover it in the next class. So very important to understand the journey of the self's emotions in this world drama. So I'm a point of light, energy, right? That is who I am. And when I start my journey, this is my home. Our home is nirvana. It is not a physical place. This is not a physical light. It is divine light. Filled with golden red light is what our home is. And here are we, the tiny stars. So when I am in my home with my eternal parent, the supreme soul, God, then the soul at this time is completely pure and silent. That's the emotion it experiences here. And there is no change. The emotions here don't change. The soul is ever pure and ever silent when it is in its home. And this is something to experiment with if you don't believe in it. For me, coming from India, I had heard about Nirvana, Paramdham. I knew we are point of light, Atma, soul. So some of the things were a little bit more easy for me to work with. So through my mind, I traveled again and again. Like for example, you're living here, maybe your real home, where you grew up or where you were born, is in some other country. And if I tell you, hey, can you bring your home in your mind, in your awareness, you can quickly visualize your home, and you will start experiencing those beautiful emotions of your childhood as you start bringing the home, the people associated. Similarly, when we think about the soul's home, and when we travel through our mind to that home, we will experience purity, state of having no desires, like an innocent child, and lot of peace. This has been my fantastic experience in practicing this meditation. I do this throughout the day. Go back to my home, visualize myself as this star, sitting in front of the biggest star, God Himself, and experiencing the purity and silence of this place. And then when the soul comes down, it goes through this world cycle divided into 4 sections. The cycle has 4 time slots where the soul is 100% charged, and then a little bit of charge is dropped, golden age to silver age, but it experiences lot of natural positive traits. This is a state that we all have experienced, naturally peaceful. Peace that doesn't leave us at all. Not something like, oh, today 1 second peaceful, next second crying. Constant peace for years. This is what we all have experienced at one point of the time. And then our state goes down as we travel through time, multiple life and death situation. We reach copper age, where we are only 50% charged, meaning 50% positive traits, 50% negative emotions. Lot of these angry, sad emotions start. And today, right now, we are in the iron age, mostly experiencing negative emotions. Now we need to figure out and go back to how we remain like this, pure and silent, loving and happy. We need to understand this is our eternal form, purity and silence. And this is our original form. When we come into the world drama, we are one happy, loving, peaceful beings. So in meditation, when we connect to our eternal and original form, our emotions start changing. We will talk more about this in the upcoming sessions. Wanted to see if you had any questions. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can also post it on the chat chat box or a Q&A box.
Hi, I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah. So, if we realize that our kids' emotions are not in a normal state and we can see that they are swinging between a variety of emotions, is it possible to get them back? How difficult it is, or how easy it is to get them back to a state where their emotions are not swaying so much, and help them to stay in that state?
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. So This is why I kind of shared in the last slide our journey in the emotional journey in this world drama. Our eternal state is that of consistency, emotional stability. Indeed, through variety of these circumstances, number of life and death situations, in every life we had a different environment, different upbringing, different circumstances that we went through, our personal experiences. So because of that, it's very hard to say what kind of emotional state your child might be in. But when we remember the eternal form of the soul and the original form of the soul, when it comes the first time from its home to this physical world, it is perfection. So when you maintain that faith, that indeed, it doesn't mean you don't accept their current state. Indeed, that's a great thing to at least realize that they're not healthy. And then maintaining this faith that they will get back to that healthy state. I will figure it out. And indeed, when the parents start their journey of getting into that better place, they will figure out ways to help the child. And we will talk about it as we go through some examples, but really your own journey, because every child is slightly different and the kind of help they need will be different. But we will take a broader examples of what parents can do.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you, Payal.
Okay. I have a question, sister. I am in Gyan since the past almost 1 year, and have been doing a lot of work on myself. In the sense, I feel the shift in my own consciousness because of the regular practice and guidance from Baba. Now, my
Fantastic.
question is, I have a 13-year-old, and like we are taught, obviously every soul is on his own journey. This child is connected to me for a reason, right? And this is part of the drama.
Right.
My question is, how do I minimize the influences that are working on him, which are sometimes exactly contradictory to what we stand for? I mean, we in as in the house and in the family. So every time he goes out, there are outer influences. And I'm sure that it's not an easy thing to deal with. If I try to empathize and put myself in his shoes, then it's very contradictory to, have one thing being done at home and see other things going on outside. So, I mean, apart from working on myself, sometimes in spite of understanding all this, I feel it affects me.
Yeah. It's as a parent, it's very important for us to be aware of the outside influences. And it's, I think, very normal that most of the outside influences will be very different from our own home environment. We can try and protect, who the child will connect to, maybe in the early ages. But still, as they grow up, they are bound to form new friends. We are not going to be able to control the outside environment. But yet, it is important to be aware that it is not very, very unsafe and damaging to the child. So, have an overall awareness of it. But expecting that it would be like your home or close to home is something that is not feasible. What we can focus really more on is that I develop such a strong bond with my child, where to the child, what environment at home becomes such a strong liking that even though the child might be in the outside influence, will enjoy the company, will do everything, but yet will not give up some of the principles and values that have been inculcated in that safe environment, secured, love filled environment at home. That is all we can focus on. How do I become this best friend of my child? that the child realizes everything my parents are doing is for my own good. The environment should not be forceful at home, where the child is like, I can't wait to run away from here. Everything, there are just too many rules and regulations. But to the child, it feels like, oh my gosh, these rules and regulations are for my own good. It shows how much my parents care about me. It's the way we put that environment in the house, whether it is welcoming, inviting, it is consulted with the child when we create the environment of the house. That's when, that's when they will not want to, move towards that external influence. They will enjoy, they will be with everyone, but they will not let go of their roots, because those roots have been watered with a lot of parents' love. So I would really say that, we should focus as parents more on building a stronger bond and connection. Teenager means it's time to just be a friend, not be too demanding, too pushy, too nagging, but really just more of an advisor. Listen to them more, talk less, and then just be aware that the external influence is not too unsafe. With that, we are all out of time. Thank you all for joining us. If you have a minute or two, please stay back for a short meditation. I, the beautiful being of light, is a being of perfection, an embodiment of love, peace, and joy. This is the real me, a divine creation. Whatever I might have become now is not the complete truth. It is just a temporary state where my beauty has become dormant and the negative emotions have overtaken. All I need to do is be spiritually awake. Let me be awakened to my real self, my higher self. I'm a child of God, beautiful and pure like Him. I'm emotionally stable, the most beautiful creation of God. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you again next week at the same time. Hope you have a wonderful week ahead.
Thank you, Meghna.